Hello, everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of RollPlay Nebula Jazz. This is season number 2, episode number 8, and the last time we recorded an episode of Nebula Jazz, the Christ God walked the earth. It was a long ass time ago.
It was a really long time ago, yeah.
Really fucking long time ago. Since then, I was saying to Jesse, a Star War has come out since the last time.
We rapped about the wars.
Yeah, so it's been a long time. I caught up. And I'm not gonna call anybody out, but I'm ready for the episode. I went back and I watched some stuff.
Wow.
I'm just gonna listen. There's no reason for me to get shitty with everybody. I know that a couple of people in our lovely cast had a big announcement to make, and so I just want to say, Jesse, congratulations on the pending birth of our child. Jesse and I are going to be having a baby. No one else is.
Yeah, no one. I don't know why we would even consider other children at all.
Yeah,
once our child is born, there will be no other children, for it shall be the end of man.
You know what's great is that baby's going to come out with a big red beard. So hey,
we're stacking the genetic deck.
A little baby with a long Gandalf beard.
Little motherfucker who cares way too much about Star Wars and Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
He comes out with a lightsaber and Gandalf hat.
This was a good goof, but like, Jesse, let's make this happen. We got a new project. Let's see if we can find some.
Yeah, I feel like with cloning technology and or in vitro, yep. Danny DeVito. I feel like with Danny DeVito.
It's the Italian mob's version of making in vitro fertilization. You fertilize Vito and he carries your baby for you.
I like it.
Yep.
Yeah. But how has everyone been? Are you freaking out about your non-allowance of having tacos yet, Pokket? Because I saw you fucked up bad. Can we talk about this?
Yep. This is it right here. I wasn't supposed to dye my hair for a year, and if I did, I
you know that it's January 22nd, right? It's
right.
3 weeks of a total of 52 weeks that you. Okay.
Oh, it's been since November or since Thanksgiving. So it was roughly 2 months exactly. Actually, it was 2 months exactly. I lasted 2 months not touching.
Not a calendar year, but a chronological. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, you succeeded until you failed. It was great.
And
really good up until you failed.
I think this is like day 3 of not having tacos, and I'm running out of ideas of food already.
Right.
I don't know what to eat anymore.
For literal centuries, people got on without tacos. I feel like you can do this.
Most people in the world have never eaten a taco at all.
I don't believe this. I don't believe it.
I went 25 years without a taco because they don't exist.
First taco was when we met.
They don't exist in England.
Don't make that weird,
or
Chad,
Europe.
By the way.
No, I mean that's
you made that weird.
I know.
Yeah.
I didn't think about it until you
said goofed it.
I knew somebody was gonna make the joke, and I wanted to get ahead of it.
Dodger is the kind of person who walks into a room and screams, "Nobody look at me!" And then when we do, she's like, "What did I just say?"
Exactly.
Oh
exactly.
Boy.
Holy crap.
Well, I see that the parasite has addled your brain already. That's good. Thanks. It was nice knowing you back before you were pregnancy stupid.
Thank you. Before I was a machine, yeah.
Yeah. Before you were all veto or whatever.
And before I got in vetoed.
Pokket, what was the impetus behind the not dyeing your hair? Is it just like you don't want your hair to turn into straw and fall out?
I wanted to grow it out. I want to get it long again. And if you bleach it, you just can't grow it that much. With how much colored hair requires bleaching. It's a lot harder at least. And so I was like, I'm gonna grow it out. I want long hair, blah blah blah. And then I lasted 2 months, and I'm like, I just want blue hair again. I did it on stream and everything. I'm like, should I do it? And I'm like, no, I'll wait. And they're like, no, just do it.
So Chat made you do it.
Yeah, it's always good to let Chat decide your life. I feel like
totally.
making good decisions. Real adult good decisions. You're doing it. Keep it up.
Chat, me and the gang are trying to decide what we should play tonight. Should we play Nebula Jazz or Russian Roulette? What do you think?
I brought the gun.
Yeah, we got it. It's fine. We all have guns. So that's not how that game works.
I was going to say, this sounds like a very different Russian Roulette.
Yeah, everybody gets a gun with one bullet in it. So you're gonna blame chat, and that's okay. I respect your choices. But it's only a month without tacos, right? There's got to be other food you can eat. Don't you live in like a city where grown-up people live?
Oh, bye.
All right.
Nope. We gave her shit and she left. She was
Fuck
like,
you, Adam.
Tell chat
I'm
what
out.
I can do.
Like,
I'm
they
out.
don't like my hair. They're telling
Obviously,
me things that
a
aren't
month
tacos.
without tacos was way bigger a deal than we thought.
She just
Yeah,
lost the
Because
Russian roulette.
that was an open wound.
Well, all right, that's one. Who's
One
next?
down.
Whose turn is it next? Yeah, spin the cylinder, kids, because here we go. Speaking of almost dying, Sam, I see you just took a bite, so I'm going to just go ahead and call you to talk here. How are you feeling, buddy? I was worried about you. You seemed like you were like legitimately actually dying. I mean, we all are. But
I'm just coughing now, so it's fine. Like,
you just
I think I'm over it for the most part. Yeah, I wasn't feeling great when I got back from England. So
Am I back?
Yeah, the echoes back too.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Okay.
Is it still there?
Hello.
Yeah.
Are you
Wasn't
kidding
good
me?
enough.
I
It
don't
wasn't
know.
good enough that you just bailed on us. You had to kill
you
the whole conversation.
Kidding me?
I don't know what's
kidding
going on.
me?
Like when I
Okay,
mute,
fine.
that computer, it goes away.
Shake that ass for me. Come on, go. Yeah, we're good now.
Okay.
We're good.
Can we pretend like we're not so the Dodger keeps singing that song?
Oh.
Shake that ass for me.
You guys
Shake
are
that ass for me.
trolling.
The future generations doomed.
Yeah, don't worry about it. I got this.
God. So anyway, Sam, did you picked up the Black Death while you were in the home country?
yeah, I think I don't know what I had. I had like a mini flu thing, and then I guess I went to see the doctor after like a couple of weeks, and they were like, "You have bronchitis and 2 ear infections.
Jesus Christ.
Here's a lot of antibiotics." So I've been on
Better
antibiotics.
than balance.
They run out tomorrow, so technically, by doctor's law, I should be completely healed.
By
when I wake up-
doctor's law?
when I
That's
wake
not how
up
it works.
tomorrow morning.
That's not
and
how
I
that
take
works.
the last antibiotic, I should be completely healed.
It should just-
Yeah. Yeah.
No.
But, no. I'm better than I was. I was bad. But
Yeah.
I can speak, so we can play. And I got 4 days till Monster Hunter. So that's as long as I'm healed by then.
Yeah,
So
baby.
excited.
I mean,
Yeah,
if
baby.
anything was going to truly heal you, it would be Monster Hunter.
Yeah,
and
forget your
24-hour
fucking
Monster Hunter
future
stream.
child. Monster Hunter's coming out.
Yeah. Fuck this.
I might have set myself too much of a challenge though, because I decided I was going to try and beat all 26 endings of Nier in the next 4 days before launch, and then do a 24-hour stream of
And
Monster
that's
Hunter.
when his wife just found out and wondered,
What?
will I
So
ever see him again?
we'll see,
To be
everybody.
fair, 19 of those endings you can they're no
Yeah,
problem.
I got
Yeah.
one. I got one by self-destructing by accident. I got
Several
one
of them
by
are-
eating a macrofish. Apparently, they're poisonous to androids, so that was an ending. So there's
You
a
know,
yeah. I didn't
common
think.
knowledge.
I
You're
didn't
ever
think.
being chased by an android. This is why Terminator didn't make any
Feed
sense.
it a mackerel.
She could have just taken the fish out and the movie would
Is
have
there,
been over.
is there like a list in the game so that you know which ones you've gotten?
Does
it
it
keep track
tells
for
you
you?
on your save game. It's like you have got XXXXX next ending.
I see.
They're alphabetical. There's one for every.
Yeah, it's 26, and they're after every letter in the alphabet.
Right.
This is where I
Got
gotta
it.
take a second to make sure. Like, are there 26 letters in the alphabet? Did I say something really stupid? Are there 25? Are there
That sounds right.
Four
I
is
think-
a letter.
I think
right?
there's a DLC ending now, so there's 27, but I don't know what it's called.
Cool game. I'm curious to see what you thought of it when you're done. I quite enjoyed it. That game has the honor. Yoko Taro is like a total like nut job weirdo, but
Yeah.
it has the honor of when the developer, when Yoko Taro was asked like, yo, why all the sexy lady android butts, instead of pulling a Kojima and making up some kind of bullshit reason for it, he was just like,
She
I don't know,
breathed through her skin.
he's just like, I just like hot ladies. I made a game and I like hot ladies.
Look, he'll always
So-
have my respect for being straight up.
Right? Like I was just like, you can't argue that. Like you just say, okay. Like good, cool, I guess. Cool, man. You do you and make your game and have Square pay for it. Congratulations, you did it.
He
It
likes
was-
hot ladies and then just 9S.
Yeah. That game was weird as hell, and everybody should play it. It's
I'm loving it so far. Yeah.
good. You're still on your first playthrough. You haven't gotten to the. Okay.
Yeah, I played it a couple of times, but I've I've never got past the third boss, so we just got past that point. So I'm blind from here on out. It's gonna be a good time.
Cool, that's exciting. Yeah, it was a good one. It's one of the better games of last year, I think. Nice. Well, enjoy and good luck. Before you got till, are you playing like Thursday night, or is this like a Friday morning situation?
It's gonna be to the wire.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. And if you can't do it, so is it what, like no tacos for a month, or?
Can't is not an option. This
Nice.
Be done.
I'll never see you again. I love you.
Let me have my video game freedom before.
Yeah, it's fine.
Spawn takes everything from me.
It's fine.
So we were having a discussion beforehand. You weren't here. You were getting your camera set up. Can we just for a second? So the theory, Jesse and I were talking. The theory is here that you keep referring to this future baby as Spawn because you really, really like Todd McFarlane. That's
Yes.
I'm guessing that's.
How did you know?
Yeah. I know how it goes. Listen, we all had that phase. Just ask Jeff Robinson. Some of us still like Todd McFarlane.
Damn.
Didn't grow out of him in the 90s. It's fine though.
Damn.
It's cool.
I mean,
What have you been up to?
he's
Jesse?
what, 60 now? He's over it. I like young Todd McFarlane.
Damn.
Young Todd McFarlane.
Damn.
Okay.
Specific.
Just yeah. Jesse, everybody knows the real big news. You're doing the thing. You're gonna do the thing, the role-playing thing, and
Oh
fucking people
God, I was
losing
like, I had
shit.
no idea what you were talking about. I was like, what? What is the thing? Yeah, I'm gonna do a roleplay thing. I'm excited.
Yeah, I'm excited too. So everybody already knows about that. Tell me what exciting things in the life of Jesse Cox have been going on.
Well, I haven't ever dyed I did dye my hair once for a girl in college, and it looked ugly, and that'll never happen again. And I've never had a child, but I imagine if I did, I'd have to poop it out. I don't know how men would have kids. I don't know what a kid. So
Wasn't there a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger where he was pregnant?
but did they question that, like how the baby came out? I don't know. They got into that detail.
Listen, the urethra is a very elastic part of the human body. So
What?
All I'm saying is I don't have anything. Nothing cool happens to me. I don't get to do cool stuff. I just like show up for work and do my job, and then I go home and like watch old episodes. I've been watching every season of Law and Order from the beginning. That's pretty impressive. I would say that's very impressive.
I would say that's a midlife crisis. We have different opinions on watching. every
some
episode
people
of Law
buy
and Order.
expensive cars. Some people
Yeah.
watch bad TV.
Yeah, some people spend 4 days playing through a game, getting 26 endings. Some people watch the delightful show Law and Order, both Criminal Intent and SVU. Some people
Absolutely.
everyone has different problems. Let me have mine, Sam. Let me have mine.
Oh.
Also, Angie Everhart. Not Angie Everhart. What the fuck is her name? Angie. It doesn't matter. Fuck it. They're all from the 90s anyway. What the hell do I care? Angie Harmon was her name. Angie Everhart was the...
Nobody say anything. Just keep letting. Then what? Then what happened?
I
You're
don't
gonna be okay, Jesse.
Look,
You're gonna be okay.
call me, people in LA. I'll go do stuff. No one wants to do anything. Everyone's all like, I've got to play 85 hours of Nier Automata.
Look,
I'm watching.
I wanted us to go to Candytopia. That was my big thing, and there was no slots left because apparently everybody wants to play in Marshmallows. So that's not my fault.
Well,
okay?
hold
tried.
on. What? Describe the thing that you just said. What is that proper noun? And marshmallows?
Candytopia. Candytopia was a weird like pop-up art exhibit that showed up where every room that you go into is focused around a different type of candy. And you can like
I was ready.
lay in it or like walk through it depending on what it is.
I was going to lay in the candy. I was going to walk through the candy. I was going to tiptoe through the window.
It's basically Instagram bait.
That sounds
'Cause everybody-
unsanitary.
Yeah, that's what I think too. But I was so curious. I was like, Jesse, we got to go to this. And then when I looked it up, there were no tickets left. And I was like, apparently, everybody wants to go take pictures of themselves
get,
in
like,
an M&M
Instagram
bath.
famous,
So that's
so
fine.
they'll just invite us. So we gotta
Right?
get famous to
Fuck.
invite us.
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
I got a bathtub and a Costco card. I could get some fucking M&Ms.
Here's the thing.
I could do this.
But
Yeah,
fuck
if you
that.
did that, I would show up at your place. I would get in
Yeah,
that
but-
bathtub and take like a sexy boudoir.
I was about
photo.
to say, stay tuned to Snapchat because
Yeah, I would
Jesse's
do
coming
that.
over.
That's a good
You have a
excuse to
nicer
get out of the
camp,
office.
too.
So what's the purpose of this? So it's just to go and like, because I can't imagine that like a ball pit full of oversized marshmallows would be anything but totally disgusting after like 2 or 3 people were in there. 'Cause people are gross.
But like you have to go there to figure out like what the fuck is going on.
All about the experience.
Right?
It's all about the experience.
Yeah. So, yeah, LA does some just fucking weird shit.
Sure.
Chat, in case that wasn't obvious.
There's a Dark Side Star Wars bar that is open till March or February, end of February. And it's like the evil Dark Side bar. And I was like, fuck, I'll go there. But no one wants to go.
Pocket. The thing is,
No one
Pocket,
wants to go with me.
they only sell tacos there, so
You're not allowed.
I'll just get. I never said I couldn't have margaritas.
Margarita's the taco of drinks.
Yeah, that's the
so
taco of drinks.
You're not. It's on the
doesn't,
list.
It doesn't matter. Doesn't mean I can't have it. Doesn't mean I can't have it.
I have a letter here from the president of Mexico because NAFTA, so you're not allowed.
Yo, I want to go. How far is the drive from Texas to LA?
I don't know. I know that
Like
it's more than a
19
day.
hours. You can do it. 19 hours. I bet you'd be able to pull it off.
Jesse's playing the nobody wants to hang with me card, but never been invited anywhere by Jesse, and I can vouch for a lot of people. I think he makes this up. I think he makes this up.
Damn.
Because at this point, I don't know anyone who has been invited to this cool bar with Jesse.
I
think
invited
Jesse just
myself.
wanted to go on his own.
Bar with
No,
Jesse. That's
see,
fair.
the thing is, Sam, Jesse not inviting you to go to the dark side bar is him trying to protect you because, as we all know, the rule of 2 can only result in one of you dying. So he's just trying to keep you safe at the dark side
No. The
bar.
rule of 2 lets there be a master and an apprentice.
Yeah,
Everyone
so
else
the
would have to
apprentice
die.
can kill the master. Jesse, back me up
That's
on
true.
this.
I mean, the man speaks the truth. That's
Very
why.
dangerous.
That's why the Sith are very dangerous. They all betray each other all the time.
Stupid-ass
And I
Darth
like you so
Vader.
much, I don't want to betray you or have you betray me.
Listen,
that
I'm
might
just
be
gonna
the
a
other thing is he doesn't
stormtrooper,
trust you
okay?
at the stab.
Yeah.
So-
More
he doesn't-
importantly, I
he
don't
doesn't
want to
trust
die.
me not to betray him.
Not until I solve the riddle of death, as Darth Plagueis did. Can I truly have you as his apprentice?
I'll accept that.
Oh.
All right, so once we solve death, then we can go to the dark side
Yeah,
bar together.
once I make that happen, then Dark Side Bar.
Right. Cool.
Look, I'm just saying, if everyone here wants to go to the Dark Side Bar, let's fucking go to the Dark Side Bar. I go.
Sure. I
Dodger,
can't
come to
drink
the
right
dark side.
now, but I'll
All right,
come
you're
and
not
be that
welcome to the dark
awkward lady who's like, "Oh, I would drink, but I'm pregnant." Very loudly and making everyone uncomfortable. Don't worry, I got this.
I think it's pronounced pregante. I think
Yeah,
that's
pregnant.
something like I've
Yeah.
become confused of late.
I know.
about how to
I
pronounce
keep pronouncing it the way that my parents did, but it's obvious that's wrong.
Yes.
What way was that?
Millennials are trying to ruin.
Pregunt, right?
What?
Pregnant.
Pregnant.
Preganinat, I think that's the long form. You shorten it. Dave.
Got it. Yeah.
Pregnant. Anyway, it's a good goof. Everybody, just go watch the video. We all know what jokes we're joking about.
Hey, guys.
Oui, pregante.
Welcome to the show. Yuck.
So, I mean, Dodger, you're more than just a human incubator for whatever weird thing is going to come out of you later. What else has been going on for you besides that?
That's such a great question. What else has been going on for me?
Like, I guess that's an important thing or whatever, but like, there's got to be more to your life than beetle infestation.
My New Year's resolution was to cook more this year. So I've been making lots of weird breakfasts in the morning, which I think so far have gone well. Sam can confirm or deny. Made waffles today.
All right, we needed a Sam on that one. We had to have a Sam.
I mean, yeah, she made waffles, but they were like, what were they?
They were flax waffles.
Wheat and flax waffles.
Yeah.
So not real waffles.
They
But
were
they were
so
good. They were okay.
I mean,
Yeah.
what is a real waffle? Like, what gives a waffle realness?
To me,
It's bad for you.
A lot of syrup.
So you put arsenic in it and it's a real waffle, or?
Correct. Correct.
Sam
good.
just wants everything to taste like maybe it's crushed up candy.
Oh,
So-
I see. So you got to go to this candy place, get some of
Yeah,
those slept
gotta
on
get-
marshmallows.
Okay.
so that I can truly understand Sam on another level. That was the goal.
You've been making a ton of good breakfasts. Fuck
Thank you. Yeah, waffles are very easy to make. Yo, if any of you guys love waffles the way I love waffles, you should just look up how to make them because Jesus Christ, it takes you like 10 minutes. They're so easy.
I really like how you delivered the first half of that sentence in your like promotional voice. Like that was very much like you were trying to hashtag add waffles.
Hello, everybody. I would love to evangelize to you the delights of waffles.
She's gonna announce coffee and waffles now. Yeah, I just know it.
Coffles.
The only issue I have with waffles at our house is that someone bought us a Captain America waffle iron as a joke.
Yeah, it's great.
I only see like the American flag whenever I had waffles.
Yeah, but then you eat it. You're like devouring America, which is pretty impressive.
Fuck you, America.
I was gonna say, isn't it like treasonous to eat a waffle shaped like the American flag or portraying the American flag?
I hope so.
I think that it might be.
That's the only way this is okay.
Wow.
I realized too, any of you who have the Captain America waffle iron and actually use it, I've also realized that any recipe for waffles that's like, this will make 10 waffles, it'll actually make like 4 because the waffle iron is like so big to allow for you to get the entire
Cap shield is so big.
Yeah, exactly. So,
please.
I feel like starting that sentence with, to anyone who owns and uses the Captain America waffle iron, just reduced the audience of that statement to like a digit number of people. No.
Because I know multiple people who own this waffle iron and have
you all know each other.
Does anyone in the chat own a Captain America waffle iron?
They're going to lie to you, Sam. Chat is a bunch of filthy liars. They're going to lie to you. They're going to tell you it's a good idea to dye your hair and not eat tacos for a month.
Is anyone in the chat upset by Adam's accusations? Please let me know.
Yeah.
Oh, see? Jesse Cox owns one.
I lied. I lied.
Look, everyone in chat told the truth, and then Jesse lied.
Jesse, are you delighted to not be Shabuzi anymore, or is it kind of sad?
No. I mean, yes, it's so very sad. It was such an important part of my life, and now it's gone.
Delighted.
Now it's just my name. Now it's just my name, which makes it so much harder because I have to remember that instead of Shabuzi.
Yes.
No, it's just easier. It like I see people that are just like, it's sad that it happened, and it's like, yeah, things change with time, y'all. That's life. You'll get over it. I get to be myself now. I get to be my own name. It's great, y'all. I get to be me.
I mean, even
I get to be me.
Just changing mine from dexterity bonus to dex bonus was so nice. Just like for simplicity. I was like, this is great. I love this. So I can't imagine going from Shabuzi, which literally everybody goes, how do you spell that?
Right.
Going from Shabuzi to twitch.tv/Jesse Cox. Easy peasy.
Right. Now people just misspell it with an I. It'll be great.
Right. Yeah. Jesse, like IE. Yeah, it's perfect.
Yeah, like IE.
I mean,
entire life.
Changing from dexterity bonus to dex bonus is just a smart move across the board because like 98% of the sludge brain morons that exist on the internet are not going to be able to spell the word dexterity, so, let alone dexterity bonus.
Yeah.
So good call, shortening it on that.
Oh, thank you. I do it for the sludge brains. Welcome,
yes.
everybody.
Welcome, sludge brained illiterates to the channel. Nebula Jazz, a show for sludge brained idiots.
Yeah.
Morons, welcome here.
Yes, definitely.
Honestly, like we're joking, but like for real though. Like, high council of sludge brain idiots. We're here to deliver unto you some space madness.
Adam's sadness tonight. I think we're all gonna die.
So let's do that thing.
Oh crap! I'm not in Roll20. Hold on.
Let's liquefy our minds one more time. So let's take a minute, dear friends of mine, to kind of send our minds back to that early time before the printing press and prior to our last episode, where we talk about what happened the last time that we played. So if you're just tuning in for the very first time, this is your first episode ever of Nebula Jazz, I'm sorry. I hope you've signed the waiver, and none of this is going to make any sense to you, but that's okay. Tune in. And you'll know more about what's going on than people who tuned in the beginning. Or if you didn't tune in the beginning, so you'll be fine. So 8 episodes into season 2, we find this group of goofballs in Xanadu, a series of interconnected planets engineered by the now fallen empire of the Mingasi, who you might remember from season 1. If you didn't watch season 1, that's okay. They're big and they're gold and they're arrogant as hell.
Sure.
So the reason that you're here is because old Rex has a broken heart, and his special lady friend, is in a capsule somewhere. We haven't figured out where yet. I assume that Sam knows that answer. But to save her from the horrible genetic melting disease that Rex also may have inflicted her with, don't worry about that. It's a group problem. Legally, we're talking about it. But for now, it's more important to know that we're trying to solve that problem. Rex is a forward-thinking old shark man. So Xanadu, with some goons in tow, one of which the Burt Ward to your Adam West, Artemis, the come on, as if Burt Ward would not play Artemis. So Artemis is in tow, not only as mentee to the gruff leader in Old Rex, but also as like one of the last, possibly the last living Mingasi in the whole universe. God knows why. And at the very beginning of the season, we saw Rex rescue a robot and a green lady. And it has caused Rex all kinds of exciting, fun times, and certainly no discomfort or
no problems whatsoever. Yeah. Smooth sailing.
Very, very, very helpful.
Mm-hmm. A robot who's just tried to hurt me, and a doctor who has not done anything doctor.
Hey, now I am currently flying across the planet. I just got my butt slingshotted.
What are you talking about?
Because you left.
I like that was your defense. Wait, hold on.
I'm flying
helpful.
across the planet. You just forget
I'm
that
helpful.
was
I'm
your
not even there.
Actual choice, and you said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
No, I would never do that to you guys, my friends.
Yeah.
And I did plastic surgery. I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that's right. He looks like a hot green elf.
Saurian. Yep.
Yeah, sure. So like you do when you're a mad scientist, Luna has been trying to remake everyone in her image, and it's been going great so far. It's been going real good. There's some NPCs tagging along. Maurice, the penguin, who was rescued from a termite concentration camp under the surface of one of these engineered planets. And also the lovely Leviatha Hellhammer, who's having some feelings about Artemis because of Artemis's natural charm.
He glamored her by accidente.
Yeah. Turns out that's a thing that happens.
I didn't know I could do that.
It's fine. You grew up without any parents. It's really the system's fault. Yeah, and so now the group of you are sort of standing in the minus Basil, who's flying off somewhere. The last time we saw you, you were all standing in the entrance to the command center of the facility that is Xanadu, and somewhere in the command center there's a sassy individual who has been kind of stringing you along, but has promised answers if you are able to make it here. So instead of finding out what all that's about, we're gonna look at something else. But first, because we've been away a little while, I'm gonna get everybody to go through their character sheet and just read off their aspect and stunts and kind of gather up all that information again. So let's do it in alphabetical order because that's the order the list is in. Artemis.
Yes.
Dudler, can you read Artemis's aspects and stunts for me?
Yes, my aspects are that I am a hopeful Mingasi urchin. I just want somebody to love, and the golden shadow.
That's
and
right.
My stunts are, because I am Mingasi, once per session I can reveal myself to draw the attention of all around me. And because I know how to look out for myself, I get a +2 in sneakily overcoming while alone.
Excellent. Excellent. So you are the lost son of the Mingasi Empire. But you're also like kind of like a badass assassin lady on your own merit. Hence the Golden Shadow. You've been trained to keep out of the way, but you've got some kick punching, knife stabbing, gun shooting abilities of your own. Probably learned from your companionship with Old Rex. Jesse, will you tell us a little bit about Basil?
Yeah, Basil, while on the outside may appear to be a run-of-the-mill pleasure droid, deep beneath his circuits is the programming of something far darker. And he has the aspects of just a gigolo. People only perceive him to be the sex bot that he is. If I could kill everyone, or kill you and everyone you know, he is a man out on a mission, and he will kill you come hell or high water and slay the meaty ones. He knows a lot about fleshy organics and how they die. And his stunts are a lethal weapon. Though he lacks strength, his knowledge in organic anatomy allows him to gain +2 attacking while using clever. And because we decided to do this because we're all good friends in this ship, anytime I try to kill my friends, they get +2 when put in harm's way.
More like if we're in the crossfire of you trying to do something. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
No. No.
Yes, if completely by accident.
If by
Basil,
accident you just happen to be in the crossfire.
No.
Sure. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's Basil. No longer bearing the visage of a 1985 Mel Gibson.
Now I'm a space elf.
But
Barf.
instead, a sexy space elf man.
Barf.
Scraped straight
one.
Scraped straight from the pages of DeviantArt. It's Basil. So that's cool. And then the reason for that is Luna Kiara. Tell us about your character there.
Luna Kiara is a Chisarian, which means that she's like a green space elf, pretty much. Very technical minded. Her race is. One of her aspects is she's a mysterious master of chemical engineering, and that leads to the end justifies the means. I don't really like this aspect. I haven't redone it though, but good news, everyone, with relation to science.
That's your like science one where you just science at us.
I like the good news, everyone, because it could literally be like one of those like what Professor Farnsworth, where he walks in with like this device that just is convenient for the show. So,
yeah, I mean, I feel like that's what we've kind of like come to understand that to be, like a sudden scientific revelation about a thing, or like the presentation thereof. Yeah.
And then her extras would be a model prisoner and prepared for failure, because she's not very strong and she's not a brute. So she's prepared to be the prisoner and to do what it takes to basically overcome that situation. So, and then her stunts are, because I know my way around chemicals, I get a +2 when cleverly creating an advantage that involves strange concoctions. And because I have a thirst for knowledge, I get a +2 when carefully creating an advantage based on examining a cadaver.
Cadaver is such a great word.
Yeah.
Just the right amount of medical and also gross. Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. And then last but not least, the cranky old English asteroid around which this party rotates. Tell us about old Rex there, Sam.
He's old, and his aspects are retired outlaw sharkanoid, table for one, and anything for love. He specializes in forceful. I have a 3 in forceful. His stunts are, due to the eternal hunger of the sharkanoids, once per session, I can devour something my size or smaller. And because he's seen more shit than you can comprehend, once per session, he can recall on a scene from his past that may help in the present.
That's right.
And he got really fucked up a few episodes ago and has a severe consequence called tentacle trauma.
That's right. Rex has some tentacle trauma from early, which was
whoever did that to you, you got to get them.
Yeah,
dude.
definitely not at all. It was completely an NPC. Not
whoever
at all.
did that, find them, take them down.
Yeah, get those bad guys that are not in your party.
Kill whoever did that when I find them.
So, You're nearing your goal, Old Rex. You and Luna and Artemis and Leviatha and the Penguin Maurice. You stand on the threshold of unlocking all kinds of secret information. However, we're gonna go elsewhere for a moment, and in the void, the vacuum of the interior of Xanadu, we see at first what might look like a comet or some other astral body moving through space. But as we get closer to this object moving, we see that it is more likely a vehicle of some kind, ship perhaps, or something created to serve the purpose of one. We can see a long trail of light coming from behind it, and as we get closer, we see a strange kind of ovoid creature with its arms and legs tucked in for high-speed flight. It looks somewhere between a goat and a squid and a bullfrog as drawn by a 6-year-old. And it is hurling at just barely sublight speeds out of Xanadu. And clinging to it, either on purpose or by accident, nestled in its tentacled body, we see the greenish form of Basil. And Basil, you have a thin layer of frost that has grown over your eyes. The vacuum of space is just chilling you to a deep freeze. And you're more or less aware of kind of what's going on around you, but not in any position to really steer or do anything with it. And the thing just continues. Twinkle continues out towards an opening in the external shield of Xanadu. And I think that we stay with you a moment as you finish this arcing flight through the sky, until like a champagne cork popping from the bottle, you leave Xanadu's sphere and come out into the darkness of space. And instead of just the field of stars where we expect to see, there is instead a highly geometrical absence of light, which at first seems like it might be just a trick of the eyes. But very quickly you realize, even through your frosted over optics, that you are approaching a massive starship. The ship is approaching Xanadu, and within a moment, a port opens at the bottom of the ship, and a beam of red light lances out and grabs a hold of Twinkle and Basil. And slowly, like a whale in the ocean, you get reeled in. And we see, I think, before we cut to the planet, we see the interior of the starship's bay. And we've seen this style of ship before, all kind of sharp edges, curving lines, a kind of eerie, like autopsy chic, everything in red and gray. You look like you're being drawn into the shattered ribcage of some dying creature. And we just see the blackness close up over the two of you as you and Twinkle are drawn up into this ship as it approaches the system. So we'll cut back to you in a moment.
Twinkle!
When you get thawed out.
Twinkle, not Basil. God,
I mean,
damn.
Twinkle has never actively tried to murder anybody else.
Yeah.
So.
You were
Twinkle.
all inside of Twinkle. That could have been the process of murdering you. You didn't know if you were being eaten. I could have saved you.
Twinkle is a precious boy. He's a baby.
Or girl. You don't know anything about Twinkle at all.
That's
You just met Twinkle. How dare you?
I don't know how Twinkle identifies.
No, I mean, Twinkle probably is barely capable of thought at this point. just like barely self-aware at all. If you put a mirror up in front of it, it would run away, thinking it was another horrific space monster. Speaking of horrific space monsters, so the three of you and Leviatha and Maurice approach the entrance, and before you is a maybe surprisingly like shabby entrance to this place. It's not lit up in gold and blue. There's no hanging tapestries, no music of triumphant return. The place is quiet, a little dusty. There are blue running lights on the floor, but this place is not a temple to Mingasi glory. It seems to just be like it is a long forgotten scientific facility. The voice from the speaker outside is not present here, and the group of you just see this hallway that extends out into the building in front of you.
Okay, so the entrance is open.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll start walking into it.
Mm-hmm. Okay, all right. So you follow the path. You enter the facility. The doors slam shut behind you, keeping you safe from any of the remaining termite creatures that might be waiting outside trying to murder you.
Right, them. Got it.
Yeah. And Maurice turns to the now shut door and says, "Well, it looks like that's that. We're in here to stay, at least for now." And he looks back at Rex and at Artemis, kind of like, "What do we do?"
Rex just kind of gives him one of these and just starts walking.
Okay, yeah,
just walking.
Yeah,
waddles.
walking, yeah.
Waddles slowly after you, his little feet flapping on the ground. And so you continue down this sort of dusty hallway. I think that when you reach the end, or what must be the end of the hall, there is a sort of hemispherical glass dome. It is dusty, so you can't necessarily see right through it. But it's plastic or glass, and there seems to be a control console on the inside. On the front of it, there's a circular opening.
Does it look like a keypad or like a?
Hard to say. You just see at a distance. It's like the circular floor, and then there's a pedestal in the middle with some kind of interface on top of it.
Okay, but I could touch the interface. Like I could reach out for it.
Yeah, you could. Well, you could walk into the dome.
I see. The dome is huge.
Yeah, it's a big ass dome.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it's maybe like 30 feet across, and whatever the dimensions of a dome that's 30 feet across would be, with this pedestal, this little pedestal in the middle.
Okay, I'll walk into it.
Okay, so as you do, Thuja comes up beside you and sort of
Thuja.
Yeah, Thuja. No, Leviatha.
Fucking bursts out of the ground.
Rex leaves.
I've been waiting.
Rex
for
leaves
you.
immediately.
Yeah,
Rex goes back out with the termites.
that would be extremely weird to just be like, yeah, she just is there because I couldn't be bothered.
She's been trapped here for a long time.
You know what? I couldn't be bothered to think of like a good organic way to get her into the scene. So like, fuck it. She just shows up.
She's like, there's like a chair with the back facing us, and it just slowly turns around, and she's like, I was the voice the whole time.
How long have you been here? I don't know, like season 1, pretty much. Just sitting here waiting. Did all my crossword puzzles. Got nothing else going on. I've been practicing what I was going to say to you. No, it's not her. Leviatha comes up behind you, Thuja's little sister, and before you reach the pedestal, she says, quiet enough that hopefully only you can hear it, but not so quiet that only you can hear it. So she says, are you sure you want to do this? I mean, it could be a trap, like cut your arm off or turn you into dust or something. I don't trust this dome or this place.
I turn around and I give her kind of a weird look, and when
you look at her, she scowls and stops, and she's like, I don't want to have to clean up the mess. You know, if you get anything severed or whatever. I need to keep you alive. You're important to my people.
That's weird because last time we talked about my life or death scenario, you definitely wanted me dead. So maybe like...
Well, you can be dead after we're done with... Fine. You know what? Never mind. Cut both your hands off anyway. I don't care.
Maybe I will as I'm like walking away.
And she turns around and she walks right into you, Luna. So she just turns around and bumps into you.
I just like look at her. I don't even say anything. Just look at her.
Nothing. Shut up.
Okay.
Storms
are you okay though? Are you okay?
Stand kind of nearby.
I like jot down some notes after she walks by. Like, yeah.
Rex looks down at Maurice and he's like, "So much testosterone in this room."
Yeah. He says, "Mais oui, young love. It is beautiful, is it not?"
Speak for yourself.
You cannot fool me, Rex. I see in your eyes you are a romantic like me.
I just want to get the fuck out of it. That's what I want. Rex is like blowing dust off stuff and coughing. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So you're inside this sort of plastic bubble, scratched up like dusty plastic bubble. And Artemis, you walk up to the control console, and there are two buttons that make up the two halves of a diamond shape. One is a triangle pointing up, the other is a triangle pointing down. They have a faint blue light glowing under the dust that is on them.
This might be like an elevator if everybody wants to get in here.
Yeah, I think by now everyone sort of wandered into the dome.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm right, do we want to go up or down?
Try a button.
Nope. Okay. I'll hit up.
Okay. Nothing happens when you press up.
If I press
Clunk,
down,
the button sinks in and pops back up.
Okay. Then I'll wait a second and then hit the other one.
Okay. So when you hit it, there is a sort of thunking sound, and a gentle klaxon plays, warning everyone to step away from the door in a repeating Mingasi message, like please stand clear of the door. The door iris is shut with the same sort of scratched transparent material. And the floor underneath you, each of the individual, you notice now that it's like you're standing on a plastic tile floor, these hexagon-shaped tiles. They start to glow and then fade and then become see-through. So you can actually look down into a tube, essentially, a big, long, cylindrical...
Vertigo City.
Stand. Yeah, right? So you can see where your feet are touching it. There is a faint kind of halo of light around the pressure of your feet. But yes, everybody all of a sudden kind of I think Maurice jumps up into your arms, Rex. He's like, "Oh my!" and leaps up. And then there's a hissing sound of metal against metal as the sort of ring holding the bubble in place separates, and then you start to descend into darkness. Very quickly, there is a sort of a splash. And you can see water or some other fluid kind of go up around the bubble, and very quickly you realize you are underwater. The sphere is descending down into some kind of underground reservoir or something like that.
Rex looks down at his arms and he says, "This is how I eat snacks."
And he looks at you and he says, "Do not bite off more than you can chew, mon ami." And he jumps out of your arms, and he says, "I wasn't scared anyway, just testing your reflexes."
Rex kind of rolls eyes. Likewise.
So so you are descending into the deeps, and fairly quickly, the walls of the cylinder disappear. They fade out of view, and there is only the void of darkness around you. And I think it is as you realize you're descending deeper and deeper into the water. You can hear a faint groaning sound, like someone twisting something like plastic. Mm. There's this like kind of groaning like pressure sound, and you can all hear it faintly, like the bubble is complaining of some external pressure.
Okay. When I look at the console, do I see any like alerts or maintenance things, or?
It is only a button with an up and a down.
Great.
Well, you better hope this thing holds. I don't think it's had maintenance for a while.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll be fine. He'll be fine. He points at Maurice. But you guys should probably pray.
Well, why don't you just leave then? You could just, you can get out and we'll be fine.
What? He would have to open it up and let water in. What are you talking about?
Let me clarify. The scientist wants me to release the pressure inside this underwater container and swim out. Is that right?
We could go back up, and you could just.
You'll be dead. You'll be dead.
No, I don't know. I mean, maybe, yeah, but I mean, that's not the first time with you guys that I've been almost dead. So.
Okay.
I think that in the future you should make some kind of a gill serum so that people can breathe underwater in like this kind of a situation.
I know this is hard to believe, but I believe they already have underground masks or underwater masks for people, but we just didn't bring them. I mean, they already created that. I don't need to create that.
Where is your love of making something new? Come on.
Are you saying that you want to look like him now? And
no,
I point to Rex.
You want to look like him now? Like, if you made something that could give you gills, like that would be cool.
I'm already writing it down. I'm already writing. No, I know exactly. No,
Rex is looking at Maurice and he's going, "I'm going to open it. I'm going to open it."
I take out like a needle and I poke it. It's like very small, and I poke it into Rex, and I'm trying to get a sample of his DNA.
So, hang on just one second, because I feel like if even someone I know really well, like even if someone I say trusted and cared about and didn't think was trying to kill or mutate me, came up to me with a syringe, I'd be like, "Whoa, hold on."
No, it's not a full one. It's like one of those new tech ones. It's like literally. Have you seen Black Mirror where they? Have you seen? Hold on. Have you seen Black Mirror where they put the things on the side of the head and it's like small like that, but it's like
comparing it to Black Mirror doesn't make it sound less creepy and bad.
I know Black Mirror is really creepy.
Adam, if she approaches me, I would like to use my stunt to consume her entirely.
If I what?
Yeah, listen,
if I puncture you?
We didn't want to tell you this beforehand, Pokket. We thought it'd be better if we got 53 minutes into the episode, but you're off the show. Also, your character's dead.
You're gonna eat me for trying to get some of your DNA.
No, I just give you a don't you fucking dare.
Okay.
I give you the look.
I mean, it could help us in the future, and then you don't have to worry about us not being able to swim.
So you hear he's been trying to pipe up while you've been having this conversation. You're like, excuse me, everyone, hello, and you turn to look at him, and he says, I think we might have bigger problems. And you see swim by at just outside the range of sight some kind of enormous creature, kind of like moves by, and the bubble that you're in like rocks slightly and groans at the movement.
So there's literally nothing else in this. There's no Mangasi version of like a emergency button or anything like that.
Let me draw you an exciting picture of the
oh my
cool
God,
thing.
Rick's so excited.
Rex does the standard
like this.
Nobody move.
And then it's got one of these, which is like the floor, which is transparent.
Okay.
And there's
I see
a little
yes,
pedestal.
right.
And there's water everywhere around. So and then you're in there.
Is that somebody's head? It's huge.
So yeah, that's where you're at. So you're in this bubble, and it doesn't feel like a particularly safe bubble to be in. And and something like moves past it. What do you do?
We can't. I mean, we can't do anything.
Is this something that any of us would have knowledge on? A creature, perhaps?
Yeah, I mean, these planets are covered in weird Mingasi, like, alien genetic, like, experiments. So it's probably something like that.
Oh, so would what's her name have any knowledge of this, or anyone know anything about Mingasi?
I like the idea that Luna is doing this in character. Anyone know what that is? Anybody? you.
I mean,
you
I
little fucker.
could maybe know what it is. I mean, I could try, but
if enough of my Mingasi brain line thing has activated, maybe I would recognize it. I don't know what else to call it.
If my brain line is activated by now.
Yeah, if my brain line is
I'll
activated.
you with the syringe instead.
You cannot solve all your problems by poking your friends with syringes. Okay?
That's what you think, Adam. That's
not how friends are.
It makes me feel better.
Don't poke your friends with syringes. Okay, that's how we get disease. Don't do it.
Sure.
Rex, he kind of looks at Maurice. You've been here a while. What is that?
He looks nervously at the battered plastic, and he says, "I don't know, but it's making me very nervous." And I think you can see the thing take another pass closer this time, and we see a row of enormous fins down one side and a line of what look like globes attached to the outside of it that are glowing faintly in the dark. The thing is like several hundred feet long and enormous. And I think as it swims by, the tail end of it probably like taps the sphere or creates a wake enough that the sphere kind of like rocks and everybody does the TNG kind of like run to one side, run to the other. Yeah. Maurice says, "I'm not an engineer, but I don't think we can withstand too many more of those."
Is there a light on this thing?
The whole thing is giving off a faint kind of glow, so you can see each other. But it's quite dark.
Okay.
So it's like emergency lighting.
Okay.
Is there a way for me to turn off the emergency lighting?
Yeah, I was trying to figure out if we could make ourselves completely dark.
So the only piece of control equipment or whatever is the pedestal, but I mean you could maybe like pop the cover off of it. There's probably some wires and shit under there.
Shall we?
I'm not the engineer.
Sure, I'll do it. I'm not the engineer either, but I'll pop it open.
I mean,
our engineer is being abducted right now.
No. This is a terrible idea.
What?
Look, it's just swimming around, okay? We just ride this out. We might be there in a second. You don't even know. Why are we worrying about this? It's not like this elevator is only going this route once. It's done it many times. This is probably normal. I would relax.
You look relaxed.
I'm relaxed.
You look it.
I'm super relaxed.
Yes, we are all very relaxed. And then the thing nudges the bubble. And this time it's not just a pass by. It's like there's a jar. And I think that, I don't know, you tell me, Artemis, do you fall into Leviatha or does she fall into you?
Okay. I definit's fall into her.
Okay, all right. So you fall like right into her arms.
Big, strong arms.
Yeah, she stumbles a little, and she's got you, and then there's a moment, like just a second, and then she like throws you away from her at full force.
Oh, come on, we're not trying to rock this any more than it already is.
And and so the thing has like butted up against the side, and that's when the faint kind of like rumbling, like distant sound of this thing passing by is supplanted by a faint cracking noise from below. And you look through the transparent, sort of semi-glowing web of flooring, and a fine line of cracks has started to form in the bottom of the sphere. And
Luna, what did you need my blood for exactly?
Oh, just to make a sample, a serum, like she suggested. I mean, later, of course, not now. But I thought while we're here in a closed space.
Do you have something that could like some kind of a sealant that you could just like put over the cracks? Right? That's an idea.
I like look at her like, oh yes, of course. I like wasn't even paying attention. I'm like, I'm looking out, like studying the giant monster. Like, this is interesting. Yes, I've never seen this before, not in person. And then I'm like, oh yes. And I reach into my satchel, and I have 2 orbs that I bring out, 2 tiny balls. I have 2 balls in my hand that I bring out, and when I mash them together.
Adam, be cool. Be cool.
I was really looking forward to playing this game with all of you and just to have a good time together and just make something special.
I understand, buddy.
Great time.
But sometimes you can't have the things that you want in life. Okay, sometimes you have to. This is what you get instead. All right. I think I'm just giving you a hard time. What are you gonna do?
No, that's a great idea.
I crack one open like an egg, and some gel starts to pour out of it, and I pour it over the crack, and then I bust the other one open, and it's more like a vapor, and it settles over the gel and hardens it.
All right, let's see how it goes. You're being clever. I think to repair.
If you fail this roll and it explodes, and then it breaks it worse.
I think to repair this, this crack will say difficulty. You're doing it like it's improvised. Let's say difficulty is 3. Everyone remember, Pocket's got great luck. Everything's gonna be fine.
No, stop.
Why would you say that?
You're gonna do good. See, I told you. Okay. So everyone's focused on looking at the sealant, and you're like, oh, what's gonna happen? And the crack is spreading, and so you like pour on the stuff and wave.
It was a balls joke. I see what happened. I see why everybody was.
You're the one who missed that.
So earlier in the episode, what Pocket said was that she took balls out of her bag and had 2 balls in her hand, which is funny because that's another. So okay,
great, yeah.
And
I'm here with you now. I'm here with the rest.
I've got some Wikipedia articles I could send you on the break if you need them, but for now, we can continue. We're good. Okay.
God.
All right. God, American sexual education. Jesus, you put me down. So, so everybody is intent on your fixing of the thing, and you get it squared away, and it hardens over the cracks, and everyone breathes a sigh of relief as the creature gets the whole thing in its mouth. So you hear a deep, low, rumbling sound. There's a rushing noise as it opens its terrible spiked jaws, pulling the orb towards it, and then it digs its teeth in, top and bottom, and you can see some of its teeth just break through the surface of the sphere. And now all you can see is down on one side, you can see the water, above and below you, its jaws, and then you can see down into its hateful esophagus as the thing like chomps down on this big hamster ball in which you are currently floating. What does everybody do?
I mean, I just fixed the crack.
Rex points into the maw of the beast, and he says, there is only one place where you guys don't drown. And we should go there immediately.
No, I don't want to do this. As I'm like trying not to drown. I don't want to do this.
The water is coming in very slowly, right? Because it's bit down on the surface. A few of its sharp knife teeth have like punched holes in it, and the water is coming in around its teeth, but very, very slowly, right? Just coming in a little bit. And it seems like its teeth are stuck, like it can't open its mouth again because it's punched its teeth through the surface of the sphere.
Does it feel like we're descending faster now that we weigh so unbearably much with this thing?
I mean, it could literally carry us wherever it wants, of course.
I think, we don't know how it's following this path, but I think that it is trying to, we can see, maybe we pan out and we see the body of this thing dark and ominous in the water, and it's like flapping its tail and trying to pull the orb, but it's stuck to it. So it's almost like there's some like it's being pulled along a line of invisible force, and now the thing is attached to the orb like bait on a hook. So it's flailing either to get free or to break the orb in half or something. And y'all are getting jostled around, and it's just a matter of time before the thing closes its jaws and bites the sphere in half, or I guess gets free and the thing starts filling with water. What are you gonna do? What's happening?
I'm gonna say this one more time. For those of you in the back who didn't hear, we go that way. He just points into the dark maw of the beast.
Isn't there like acid and stuff in there? Won't we just die in there?
Oh, fine, it's huge.
Well, I guess you have busted out of a lot of people's stomachs, so.
I literally did it yesterday.
It's true. Yeah, earlier today. In fact.
Okay, well, what do we do? Do we stand on the side that it's gonna eat?
We get out.
We just open the door. I have a feeling he means open. We just open it and we go through there and we just.
Yes, unfortunately, the door, the little like opening, if you open that, it's on the other side, out into the water.
But when he chomps down, he's gonna eat half of this orb.
He will break
the orb protect it from the water too, right? So if we stand on the side that's already kind of in his mouth.
Yes, assuming he closes his mouth and then never opens it again.
I look at Rex and I'm like, break it. Break the other side.
Can I see cracks running down from the teeth at the top?
Yeah, there's little cracks that have formed around its teeth.
I'm going to attempt to just try and make that a lot worse on the side we need to escape from.
So you're just going to walk over the edge of the sphere and start punching it, trying to break?
Kicking,
to
be precise.
Sure.
Is there not just like a ton of it's not like he's created a vacuum inside of his mouth.
There's water coming in.
There's definitely water everywhere still.
Yeah, it's spraying in and starting to like fill the bottom of the
We're going to get washed down his throat.
All right.
So you start walking over it, and Maurice says,
I should have died
Rex,
at birth.
Rex, where are you going, Rex? I don't like the look of this.
Maurice? Just trust me.
I don't know.
Kicks.
He give it a boot.
Yeah. A second time and a third.
All right. So, I mean, unless anyone else is going to do anything, you will get Rex will get a chance to break the sphere, and some of you probably will get sucked into this monster.
If everyone could be over here, that would be good. Yes.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Everybody hang on to each other. Just trust me.
So I think at that, when you're like, just trust me, and you go get ready to kick it, we cut to a dimly lit red, hard lighting from above, like prison cell. Someone in the distance is like screaming in pain. All of the classic like sci-fi torture chamber like bullshit cues, like fog on the floor for no reason, a gridded floor for better blood washing. It's all just like being telegraphed very heavily. And we see Basil. Now, Basil, you were offline briefly, so you don't have a recollection of what brought you to this place. But you take a look around, and I think you're smart enough to recognize the inside of an Agaran prison cell. What do you do?
Oh, God.
Agarans. Typical. And he, like, flicks what I assume is, like, a sci-fi, laser grid. Like,
yeah, of course.
You can see through.
Yeah, your cell has no door. You can just see out into the hallway.
Right, but it's obviously a laser grid, and I can't pass through it. Yeah. Flick it, he goes, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're standing there, and I think you look around and you can see there are several other cells, some of which have other people in them, but we can't really make them out. They look like maybe we get the cue of like you hear the sound of boots, like heavy leather boots on the floor, and you see two Agaran like guards. You can tell that they're like part of the guard caste because they're wearing the black leather chaps and codpiece that is traditional of their uniform. And you see them approaching, dragging a prisoner some figure kind of like hanging loose. They walk over. One of them opens the cell. They toss this person in, and then close the laser barrier over them.
Pardon, excuse me, guards. If I may, minute of your time.
And so they stop, and one of them turns and walks up to you. And like all Agarans, he is well muscled and pale, like almost grayish skin. You can't see his face because he's got this like leather mask on, and then long black hair, and then like a leather cross like harness with spikes on it. And he walks up and he looks at you and he says, "You're awake."
Yes, well, rebooting takes quite some time, Muscles, and I was wondering where I am.
When you say that, he like looks at his arms, like, "Yeah, thanks for noticing."
You're welcome. They're very toned, might I add.
He nods, and he says, "I do work out a lot."
I can tell.
And he says, "Where are you?" He looks around, and he says, "You're on the Imperial starship Storm of Light's Bane."
The Storm of Light's Bane? Oh, I've heard wonderful things. Why am I here?
You hear the creak of his leather mask as he grins underneath it, and he says, he looks like he's gonna say something, and he looks at his friend, this other guard, and he says, "Oh, you'll find out soon enough." And his friend nods at him like, "Yeah, good ominous guard stuff. You're doing it."
Very spooky. I am extremely worried. Although it did not answer any of my questions. Maybe a little help. Is there a reason I was captured?
He says, "Everything will become clear to you in time." He looks at his friend. His friend's like, "Yeah."
Oof. Obviously, the two of you are not in charge. Perhaps I could talk to the person who is.
And he says, "Oh, you'll see who's in charge soon enough." And his friend's like, tone it down a little. And then he looks at you and he says, "Don't go anywhere, prisoner." And he walks back to his friend, and as he's walking, he's like, "See what I did there? Because he can't go anywhere. He's a prisoner." And the other guy's like, Yeah, Barry, you did a great job." And he like pats him on the butt. And the two of them head out into the hallway. And so you're just like left in the cell for at least a moment.
Can I reach out to anyone else? Can anyone hear me outside, like in the different other cells?
Maybe you could like try to call out, but they all look like they're either dead or recently tortured, so it's hard to. I mean, no one's really like moving.
Screw it. Basil doesn't care. Hello, fellow prisoners and/or torturees. Is anyone out there?
So your voice echoes in the darkness, and I think before you even really have a chance to try again, there's like a fanfare that plays, but of course because it's the Agarans, it's like a 3 guitar solo with like a lot of distortion that plays, and then you hear someone say, "All kneel before the Emperor." And then there's more like, and maybe the walls like shoot some pyrotechnics in the air. And through the pyrotechnic smoke, we start down low and slowly like pan up this person as they walk towards you. So we see first they have these enormous platform boots, like huge black chunky platform boots that go all the way up to like their knees. And then we see the long expanse of pale muscled thighs and an enormous like spiked codpiece in the shape of like a dragon. And then the midriff, of course, is traditionally exposed. And then a kind of like football pad / corset like breastplate thing in like matte black with huge spikes, like, you know, like almost as wide as they are tall, and then hanging back from it a crimson cloak, And then we see a face, this like chiseled, sort of vaguely familiar face. The features look familiar, but the same kind of like white skin with black markings around the eyes, and then just huge, like obviously teased for many hours, like black hair. And then nestled down into it, a diadem or like tiara with like a skull on it. And this person and his like royal guard enter the prison, and a couple of the prisoners kind of like cower like in fear, like trying to turn away. And the group, the three of them, walk up and they turn, and Barry and the other guard and this enormous, impressive Agaran figure stop, and he folds his big muscly arms over his chest and he looks down at you. And he, what do you do? Are you kneeling? Do you bow? Or are you just standing there looking at him?
I applaud. Basil just applauds, like, what a show. My, you must be important.
And Barry or his friend, you can't tell them apart now because their masks are the same. One of them says, kneel before the Emperor, dog. And the other one's like, yeah, Barry, you tell him.
Basil does not kneel.
Yeah. Okay.
Basil stands behind the barriers. Like, I would kneel, but there's barely any room in here. It's quite difficult. You should come and try. And
he sneers at you, and you can see his teeth are either. I think he's wearing like some kind of like fang-looking thing, like with gold spiky teeth. And he grins at you, and he says, the Emperor bows to no one.
Basil's like, well, I would assume not. He and or she is the Emperor? That makes no sense why they would bow.
And he nods, and he says, you are a prisoner of Emperor Darkthrone. Kneel, scum! And he like punches the screen, the like energy screen. It like crackles.
Darkthrone? Is that a last name or is that a title?
He kind of like looks back and forth between his guards, and he says, "It matters not. Do as I say."
It matters to me. I'd like to know who I'd be bowing to.
And Barry, you can now tell them apart. Barry says, "You are in the presence of the warlord Emperor Darkthrone, mightiest warrior of all the Agarans. You should fear for your life, synthetic."
Have you seen my life? Look at me. I don't know what I am. Trust me, I'm not worried.
And the Emperor says, "Oh, no, we understand too well what you are, Basil." And like he puts his hand up and he reaches in his mouth and he like takes his teeth out. He's like, that's better. And like puts them in a pouch on his belt. And he says, "I'm sorry, Basil. We know precisely what you are." And he like holds out like a hologram like device, and it flickers to life. And before it can display the hologram to us, we see instead your face and like the reflection in your eyes as he shows you this like schematic. What is your reaction?
Basil sort of stops being an asshole and looks at him. He's like, "And what do you intend to do?"
Yeah, he says, "I have been summoned here by a cousin of mine. She said that there was an opportunity to set things right, that the Mingasi still lived, that the war isn't finished, and I intend to finish it, and from here, spread it all across the galaxy, to bathe this place in blood. I want your help."
Basil, like, a little smirk forms on his lips, and he looks at this entire cadre of just insane people, and he's just like, "I think we can work something out."
So he says, "Good. Then first, tell me everything you know about Artemis.
And Basil like laughs and is like, "Little Artie, why?"
He says, my huntresses have told me much, that Artemis is the last of the Mingasi. We Agarans don't like leaving a job undone.
Do I know that she's the last one? Or is that just like a rumor, or is that like...
Everybody has some suspicion. I don't think you've ever seen another one.
Okay. All right. Well, if she is the last one, boy, what a mess they turned out to be. Am I right? And he sort of like looks over to Barry and the other two guys and like,
and
right,
Barry is nodding like, yeah. And then his friend's like, no, don't fucking nod. This is not just stoicism, Barry. Stoic. Be a guard, man. And the Emperor says, do you not understand the significance of this place, of Xanadu? This is their war engine. This is where they built their utilizations of destruction. I will seize it for my own and finally prove to the other Agarans that I am worthy of wearing the title of Emperor. They, too, like you. And he realizes you're not kneeling or bowing. He's like, well, everyone will bow. And he puts his fangs back in. And he's like, bow before me.
I will bow. When the time comes, trust me, I will bow before you, your excellence. But until then, you know what I am. Why not use me? I can be of use to you.
And he nods and he says, yes, we can make a deal. This place will be able to create mighty weapons for me, and I will use it to seize power. Perhaps we can find you a form more appropriate.
Truly, if you could, I can see us becoming very good friends, and I always take care of my friends.
The Emperor of Darkthrone needs no friends, but you may serve me, loyal former sex robot.
I like the former part.
He nods and he grins and he says, guards, take him out of there. You and I need to have a long conversation. And he turns and the guards like open the thing and they like going to grab you. They're like, you're coming with us, and then they take you away with Emperor Darkthrone.
Basil just sort of waves back to everyone who's still a prisoner.
Yeah, right. Somebody just looking sad, like up against the shield, like, no, don't leave us.
I'm a robot too.
Yeah, wait, no, I can serve you. I know how to do sex stuff. So the group of you leave the room, and then the door to the prison area of the ship shuts. So meanwhile, we cut back to the inside of the very tenuous bathysphere. Let's see how this goes. So your goal here, Rex, is to forcefully break the sphere in such a way that you will all get sucked into the maw of this great beast.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Let's see how that goes. Is anyone helping?
Ask them.
Yeah.
I mean, I have no other ideas, but this idea still like fucking terrifies me. So I think I'm just standing where he's told me to stand.
No one's helping me.
Okay. All
Rex
right.
is saving everyone.
This wasn't my idea. It wasn't my idea.
Okay. So to have this go the way that you want, I'm going to say it's going to be forceful 6, I think, to make it work.
Can we?
Shitting me?
It's significant. This is a significant. If you fail, a thing will happen.
Die.
It just won't be the thing you want.
The thing's already cracked.
It is cracked. Yeah. It's not about breaking it.
It's
Breaking
coming
it, anybody could break it. It's breaking it in such a way that you don't just shatter the thing and then it just bites you. Like but there's a good way and a bad way to do this. It's a bad plan, but it's that you could make it go a good way if you succeed.
6. Yeah.
So you're halfway there.
I'm halfway there.
You're halfway there.
I will use Retired Outlaw Sharkanoid. It's not the first time he's kicked something and broken it with his foot. He's done this many times. He's an outlaw.
Right, of course.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, sure.
Not the first
And
So that brings it to 5.
And I will use
I-
table for 1 because Rex he doesn't want to fucking die in this stupid elevator, and he actually doesn't care about anyone else. But this is the optimal way to live for him. So
It's the name of Rex's posthumous autobiography. The way to live.
The optimal
optimal
way to live.
yeah,
The old Rex story.
if someone's gonna survive this situation, it's gonna be 1 a la Rex. So
All right. So really, it's not about you don't care about your friends. You're just like, fuck it.
no,
I'm
right
just
now I
doing
don't.
it. This is what
Yeah.
I want. Okay. All right. So, yeah, Rex kicks it a couple of times. Everybody braces for impact, and then the third boot, shatters the edge of the bubble. And there is a combination of the sudden, immediate rushing of water into the half bubble, which has been bit this way now, and the sudden suction and crushing of the jaws of this underwater creature as you are all pulled into it, and then it's just darkness and tumult and chaos. You're being slurped around. There's no like air in here exactly, so. Like, what does everybody do when all the water rushes in and it becomes like pitch black, and you're getting tossed around? What's happening? What does everyone do?
I mean, we're getting tossed around. We don't have a lot of control over what we do we?
I mean,
I grab onto to Rex's arm.
Rex just grabs them both by the scruff of the
Yeah, I grab onto him because he can swim in this easier.
okay, all right. So you're just gonna try to like cluster up and then.
Well, I know Maurice is going to be fine.
Yeah.
So I grab the 2 that can't breathe underwater.
There's also Leviathan, but I guess.
It's just like, fine, this is for you then, I guess.
Bye, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
I have 2 hands. I don't know what you want from me. You
No,
grab-
yeah, you only got 2 hands. All right, that's fine. That's totally fine. Okay. Well, let's see if you can get them quickly enough before they get pulled away.
Okay.
So you get a +1 because you get some help.
Okay. Are we doing
And
quickly?
this is quickly. I'll say there's 2 of them. Let's call it
Yikes.
difficulty.
Oh,
more than that.
yikes.
I was gonna say 2, but
I don't get them.
that's fine. Okay, all right. So there's you lunge out for your friends, and there's just swirling and one of you I think reaches out and touches the inside of its like mouth, and you feel it kind of like give a little in a weird sticky way, and then suddenly there is a flushing of you down into the thing's innards, and we just see from the outside, we see the creature kind of shake its head and then turn and swim away from this bait that it took, and still attached to this invisible kind of channel of gravity, we see the broken half of the orb kind of dangling slowly down into the darkness, breaking up as it goes. So it's dark. We like fade out on that. And I think that Rex, you come to in the darkness, but it's like, cinematic darkness. So it's just blue and we can't see the background and we can see you, but you like take a deep breath and sit up, and you realize like you can't see, it's dark, your friends aren't around. What are you going to do?
Cough a few times.
Spit up some water. Yeah.
Am I on some form of debris or land?
So yeah, you look down, and yeah, there is like a semi-solid kind of like surface. You feel it. It's kind of like ridged.
Okay. I attempt to climb up.
It's got the same texture as like the roof of your mouth. It's like a
yeah.
palate. It's kind of like bumpy feeling.
Rex, he kind of like climbs up on it and yells out into the void. Hello!
Yeah, it echoes wetly. There's like a bloop, like a dripping sound somewhere, kind of grumbling.
Nice. He yells out one more time and kind of just slaps his hands at his sides.
Yeah. So it echoes again, and I think as your eyes adjust, you can make out faintly like a light in the distance, like just the faintest. Like at first you think it's just a trick of your eyes. You rub your eyes, you look again, but you can just barely make out like a faint glow in the distance.
Okay. I make my way towards it, however that would require, be it swimming or.
Yeah, I mean you can walk, but it does take some time.
Okay.
So you're walking over this kind of like, sort of nebulous terrain, and as you get closer, you can see that the light. It's this faint, it has faint bluish glow. And as it resolves, you slowly kind of come to realize that it's being emitted from the inside of what looks like an escape pod or like vehicle. Like you can see the hard lines of a machined object. It's kind of like wedge shaped with like little like wings or like a wing kind of like sticking up from one side. But it looks like it's either like a robot or an escape pod or it's something like non-organic. And it's like lodged under like a muscle structure that's kind of got it pinned down.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's all very like dark. You keep stumbling and
Is there some kind of control? Can I make my way like am I at it already?
No, you can continue moving towards it.
Yeah, I'll just continue moving towards it.
Okay. All right. So I think that as you get
Occasionally
closer,
yelling out.
Yeah, as you get closer, there are you find bits and pieces of other like broken like ship parts or something, like machined debris, pieces of metal or plastic, that kind of thing as you approach. And when you get within enough to see it, you can see that the light is coming from the speedometer and dashboard display of a 1983 DeLorean.
Nice.
And it's sort of like just illuminating the area around you. And sitting in front of it, leaned up against the side of the vehicle, is the waist and above of some kind of like bipedal like robot or something, but it has no legs. Its legs are like broken. It looks like a machine robot or something. Like it's not a very complex machine, but it's alive. And it's got a ragged like piece of tarp wrapped around its shoulders and like up over its head like a little babushka.
Rex kind of circles around and he's like, "Hey."
Yeah, and as you get closer to it, it tilts its head up and looks at you. You can see its eye. It's got two kind of eyeball like cameras. One of them is cracked. The other one kind of like looks at you, focuses in, and a voice comes from a little speaker on the front of its face, and it says, "Who's that? Who goes there?"
I mean, it really doesn't matter, does it? Have you seen anyone else?
Come closer, boy. And it reaches
boy.
up with a little hand. It's like, whoop, 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 like kind of gesture to come over.
Rex comes closer.
Okay, so you walk over and you can see that the thing is like rusted and its bottom parts are kind of like barnacled to the surface of both this DeLorean and the floor, the like calcified kind of floor of this thing that you're in. And it looks up at you and he says, "It's been so long since I've seen another life form. My optics aren't what they used to be. Come a little closer."
Rex, he gets pretty close, and then he realizes what the robot's attached to. He's like, "Oh, maybe this still works," and just goes around him, just to the vehicle.
Okay. So you just walk around, and he says, yes, the artifact. Long have I wondered at its meaning. I found it down here so many years ago, before the unpleasantness with my legs." So you're like climbing over him to get into the seat.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just like messing around up in the glove box.
Yeah. So there's some kind of like power source that's been wired into it in the passenger seat. It's like a battery, some kind of big like generator or battery sitting on the seat with a bunch of cords that run down into its like underneath the dashboard up into the thing.
Okay. Are there any skeletons?
I mean, there probably, yes. There's probably like in the driver's seat, like
there's
someone
like
with the skeletons on the Yep, definitely.
Rex shoves the skeleton out the way and it crumbles.
Okay. Yeah. Perfect. So you push the skeleton, like it falls out, and its bones just like clatter down onto the ground. And and your robot friend says, "Tell me, what brought you here, friend? What's your story?"
Oh, I just really love the inside of monsters, so I thought I would check one out.
He nods and he says, "Yes, a brave soul, truly a hero, unafraid of delving into terrible places. Have you come to save me, my boy?" It's like, he's like reaching behind him.
You're like, can't turn around.
Where are you going?
What can you do?
And he kind of looks, just like cocks his head. What do you mean?
Do you have, can you make lights? Or can you fix things?
How does one measure the value of a soul? I have been in this place for so very long, hoping for salvation, praying to anyone who would listen that someone would come and rescue me after all these long years down in the dark.
And so the lights are on the dash, right?
Yeah. It's the battery lights on. There's several, like, this car's fucked up, like lights kind of blinking.
Okay.
But it's creating a little pool of light around him.
Rex opens the fuel tank cover. Is there anything
so you get out and you go around him.
Yeah,
and he's still talking
rip
to
the
you.
lid off and I sniff in there. Is there any fuel in there?
No, it is long since dried up.
Okay. Rex curses under his breath. How long have you been down here?
Oh, so very long down here.
You have a time frame? Just trying to gauge if I can.
A very, very long time. I've been here. Many years. My chronometer is damaged, you see. Damaged like the rest of me. Helpless below the waves.
You have a torch, a light, or something?
Only the light from this artifact. My only friend here in the darkness.
All right. Well, okay. I'm gonna need to see under the hood. Is he attached to the hood of the car?
He's kind of just like barnacled to the rear side like part. Yeah, like
okay.
The wing door is open and it kind of like is over him and he's kind of stuck to the side.
Okay. Can I lift up the hood?
You go around and it's like wedged under like a big like muscular like tissue fold. And then stuck underneath it, so like it's right up to the windshield.
Can I try and push it, or is it real wedged in there?
I mean, you could always try. You try to get it unwedged.
Yeah, I'd try and give it I don't know what to do, shove.
Okay, all right. So you like get under the door frame, kind of like pushing it in away from push it backwards.
Like back up, feet against the tissue wall.
Yeah. Okay. Make a difficulty 4. Now difficulty 3 forceful roll.
Okay. All right.
Nice. Okay. Nice. So you give it a push, and it I think it comes like a bit loose, and there is obviously a reaction from the thing. Wherever you are in its body, it can feel this, and there is a deep like rumble, and things move. You can hear the wet squishing sound of some kind of internal sphincters moving. And the little guy that's attached to the car is like, whoa, as you give it a shove. And the roaring and the rumbling is what wakes up Artemis elsewhere inside this thing. So Artemis, you come to, but you are in a much more enclosed space. You're like up to your eyes in like salty, warm fluid of some kind.
Oh, gross.
Right? So it's like you come to and like take a gasping damp breath. And you look around and same thing, there's no light for you, but we as the audience can see that right next to you, Luna is floating like face down in this thing that you find yourself in.
Okay.
And I think what do? You like wake up, take this gasping breath.
I try to get out of it as soon as I can. Is there like land next to me, or
I don't know. You're like kind of floating. So you like flail around. There's wet splashing.
Yeah, I guess I'll just like feel all everywhere around me.
Yeah. So you
see
feel
if I bump into Luna or land or something.
Yeah, floating in the water. You reach out and you touch like hair floating in the like there's like filaments of, and then the back of a head and a pointy ear and a lab coat, and you're like, ugh! And you realize, yeah, Luna is floating face down in whatever fluid you're.
Yeah, I think I would like feel around and be like, oh no, and then try to flip her over.
Okay, right.
In the water.
Yeah, so Luna, same thing. You come to, you're being like jostled around, and yeah, you wake up, partially submerged in this fluid, and someone is like shaking you and like moving you around. What do you do?
As I wake up, I start choking as well, but then I just belch, and then just like a bunch of water comes out my mouth, like down my chin.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank God! I'm so glad that you're alive.
Where are we? I don't know.
I can't even. Can you see in here? I can't see anything.
Yeah, the two of you are kind of having to tread water. Like if you stretch, you can kind of feel like the bottom, but you can't quite stand on it.
I'm like sarcastic. I'm like, yeah, let me just turn on my night vision real quick.
I don't know. I don't know how green people work. Like start floating in different directions.
Listen.
Okay.
We should try to find somewhere we can at least stand.
Yeah.
Have you heard Rex or
no,
that?
I literally just like woke up just now.
Oh. Okay, well, yeah. I just start like doggy paddling in a direction.
So between the two of you, it's not hard to find the walls quite quickly. Like the ceiling is above you, maybe 2 feet. The floor below, if you hold your breath, you can like dunk down and put your feet on it. But you're in a room probably no bigger than like your average elevator, but it's full of blood or something, some kind of like gross fluid. And at either end, it's sort of like an ovoid. It narrows at either end, and you feel like a spongier, like one of the both walls on either side is like kind of firmer, and like feels like more muscly, whereas everything else feels like squishy, like fat.
Okay.
And when you touch either of the walls, the like firmer walls, they like recede, they recoil from you and like tighten up slightly.
I knock on it.
Okay, all right. So there's another like gurgling sound, and the wall. You don't really see it. Again, we're getting that like bad night vision thing. But the wall opens, like the sphincteral opening opens, and then there's like a gush of fluid in, and then it closes up again. And now you're like even higher up. Like the thing fills up some more.
Perhaps you shouldn't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm not gonna do that anymore. Okay, so from what we can tell, we're just in like a little room floating in water.
Yeah. I mean, I could hear. Let me draw it for you.
If it's another fucking circle that you turn into the Death Star, you can just tell me.
So this is kind of where you're at, and then there's like fluid.
Okay.
And then there's the little openings on either end here, and then y'all are like right here, kind of just floating in there.
Okay.
So we can tell that this is like a small space.
Yes.
Can we tell? Crap! How did we end up in like this bladder, this tiny bladder?
I mean, I guess if it is a bladder, we would technically count as the sort of waste that a kidney would try to get rid of, right? So if I reach up, there's nothing on the ceiling. right?
No, it's all just smushy tissues.
Smushy tissues. Oh my god. Do you think, are we gonna have to like dive into this stuff?
I imagine we're gonna have to do something. We might actually have to go through one of these holes that keep opening.
Okay.
Can we see which way it drains out?
No, but
Or feel what way?
The orifice that Artemis was poking seems to be the in door.
Okay, so if the water's coming from there, perhaps on a different part of this area there is an out. We don't want to go in the in, we want to go in the out.
Right.
And I try not to make it very awkward.
Yeah.
Just 'cause,
okay. So, okay. All right. I'm not going to think about it too much. Okay. But we can't see. Like, we can't. How do we even tell if we're there?
I mean, we don't really have a choice. Is anyone else in here with us? Like no one else.
Just the two.
How do we end up in the? Okay.
In the poop zone?
I just start swimming. I don't even answer. I just start swimming.
And there's nowhere to go, right? Like
there's nowhere to go.
Around,
we don't have a choice.
You're in a little like enclosed area. There isn't really anywhere to swim to.
Yeah.
I guess like if we swim to the side that we think the other
side
sphincter is on, yeah. Is it like from feeling the walls? Can we tell where it gets denser?
Can we tell where the sphincter is?
You can definitely feel the sphincter if you feel around.
And I lean over to Artemis and I'm like, put your hand in there. Damn
what?
Just
why can't I just knock again? Like on that one.
I mean, you're feeling right now and it's not opening.
Oh God. Like bang on it.
Okay, just bang on it. All right, make a forceful roll. Let's say forceful 2.
Oh Lord. Yeah, that's the good shit.
Okay, do you want to spend a fate point? Do you have a fate point you could use on this, or like I don't know that you have an aspect.
I have an aspect called Hopeful Mingasi Urchin, and I'm really hopeful this works.
I don't
want to be in here anymore.
I don't think that qualifies, unfortunately.
Let me chase my joie de vivre, please.
Yeah. So I think I'll give it to you, but first, what happens? So you like bang on the sphincter, and first several like tubules or something in the inner surface of this thing like open and squirt some other kind of fluid into the little like thing, and you get massaged, and like the whole thing just like squishes down, and you get like kind of squished on a little bit, get peristalsis by this goo. So I'm gonna create an aspect that I can use against you later, and I'm gonna call it
tenderized.
Yeah, something like that, covered in goo. And it's not pleasant. It's an unpleasant sensation.
Does it smell like bad?
It's just goo. And and so it like chews you up a little, and then once the thing is filled up, you have to hold your breath. You get this like softening spray on you, and then the orifice like opens, and you get sucked out into some other part of this horrible creature's body as you get like slurped down the tunnel of muscle being kind of squeezed through it.
Excellent.
So meanwhile, Rex, what are you doing? You've kind of loosened the DeLorean from its jammed in place in between these muscles, so it's kind of free. It's still like resting on the sensitive tissue, and you can see the place where it was jammed in is kind of like pulsing a little bit and is like a darker color. It looks like bruised.
Rex is like, kicks it hard.
Just the bruise?
Yeah.
Okay, so as you walk over, the robot is like, I don't think you should do thump. And everyone who's inside the thing, there's like a roar, and we see it outside. We cut back to this dark shape in the water, and it kind of like rolls over and like turns slightly, roaring angrily at whatever is happening inside. It's got a tummy ache, and everybody gets jostled around, but nobody gets like badly hurt. But what are you gonna do now? So the thing, like, obviously is very sensitive to getting punched in this inner bruise.
Oh, that's interesting. Hey, robot.
And he says, "Yes, my savior."
Where are we? In the monster.
I do not know. I was disabled before I could create a map of the creature. I will admit to you, I was non-functional for a very long time.
Where are your legs?
Many years. I have not seen them. I miss them so.
Okay. Right. What if we get you some legs, eh?
Yes, it would be nice to be ambulatory once again.
That's the spirit. All
To
right.
walk in the fields and feel the sunlight on my face sensors.
We could probably use this. He motions to the wheels and the wheel frame of the DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
I think I could do this.
You would make a chariot of this artifact so that we could ride free of this place.
That's the plan. That's the plan.
You are truly a brave warrior.
You're really not helping in any capacity, though.
I was just trying to motivate you. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, let's get you somewhere you can see. Can I attempt to rip him from his?
Yeah. Yeah. So you just want to get your little arms around him and like pull him free of the.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Make a forceful roll.
Okay.
Just say difficulty 2. As long as you don't flub it, you should be okay.
Oh no! I accidentally closed it. Okay. Here goes nothing.
Nice.
All right, 3.
Okay. All right. Yep. So you pull him free, and there's like a tearing sound, like like ripping a soda can in half, and he's just like, "Oh my, oh." You like pull him out of the barnacles, and there's some wires hanging out of the back of him, and he can't see that, so he's just kind of like clinging to you with his alarm.
I place him on the roof of the car,
and he says, "Thank you. That was very uncomfortable, but I am free now. Sweet freedom." And then he tips over and falls off the car, and he's like lying. He's like tips over and falls onto the ground on his face. And he's like, "Oh, I've fallen."
Robot. If I hooked you up to this car, you think you can move it?
I think I could be possible.
I mean, you gotta have some kind of power in there. You've been awake this whole time.
He says, yes, my internal power plant is still functioning, though.
Power plant. That's what I like to hear. Okay. Well, here's what we're gonna do. And Rex, he just shoves the rib cage and a bunch of bones out the front seat.
Yeah.
And hoists the robot up and puts him in the front seat.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, now how do I connect? And he points at the severed spinal cord. You to this.
And he says, "Oh, I don't know. That's a very good question."
You're a robot.
Yes, it's a common misapprehension that robots are technically proficient. My main purpose was programming operas. Would you like to hear one?
No. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to wake my friends up. Rix walks back to the bruise and he kicks it again.
Okay. That's the whole thing. Like, and he tumbles out the side of the car and like falls down again. He's like, "Oh, I'm on the ground again." And the car like rolls back slightly. And we cut back to unceremoniously, Artemis and Luna being desphinctered out of wherever they were. There's a wet splashing sound as the two of you tumble out of the sphincter. You fall several meters in the dark and then land in a pile on the ground. I think like Artemis, you land, and then Luna, you fall on top of her, and the two of you are just covered in like sticky goop. But you're in a larger chamber. You can actually breathe. There is an occasional spurting kind of waterfall of goo that comes out of this sphincter, but you're in another sort of storage organ now.
Is it still very dark?
Yeah, I was gonna say,
yeah, everything in here is super dark. Yep.
Oh, but we're out of the water now, so I take out my what the fuck? Like a flare, but not a flare. It's an electronic flare. It's a fake flare.
Oh, an E-flare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fake one.
Like a flare, but like a flare.
Like
You can use it on an
but
airplane.
it gives a little spark, like it's a real flare, to make it feel special. Like, you know, it's
Yeah.
All right, so Luna, you stand up and you take out this thing and like
This is
light
like one of those fireplaces on Netflix.
I was gonna say it's like
a
those
really
candles you
sad
can get for your
version of
house
that.
that flicker.
only I can control the lighting. You know, it's an RGB. I can control the lighting.
I think as soon as you turn it on, there's a gurgling sound, and the sphincter erupts some sputum onto you. So like you see for a second, Artemis, you see Luna just like, hey, I have light, and then this like splash of goo like
I want
pours
to
out
try
onto
and
her.
do like the whole not a party foul thing where I like save the flare, but then I'm just like completely wiped out and my hand's still in the air.
Totally.
Yeah, I like, but then, hey, but the flare, right?
And I'm just like, can you grab it?
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Awesome. All right. So the two of you are in a wide open chamber, and you can make out, though they're covered in flesh and skin, it's close enough to like a bone structure that this chamber, it's like swampy, right? You're like up to your knees in weird fluid, and there are little islands of flesh that kind of like rise and fall. But this place is barred in by like some kind of rib structure. And looking around this swamp of blood and flesh, you can see more like undigested ruins. There's chunks of machinery, various things like kind of sticking up that just never got digested.
Where are we? In like
just
a
trash
stomach?
I mean, I would have knowledge of where we might be located within a being, right? Or an animal sorts.
You could make a roll. Yeah, you could make a clever roll.
A knowledge roll?
Yeah,
Like,
totally.
I like to make
This
a
is your
knowledge.
jam. You're just normally on the outside of the disgusting creature.
Oh, yeah.
I know. I'm
you're
like,
in a
oh, this is
body.
exciting. Usually I'm dissecting an animal, but this, I'm inside while it's alive. This is fascinating. This is very, and then like some goop drops on my head again. I'm like, oh.
Earth. Unfortunately, Earth was destroyed 2 years before the classic movie Inner Space came out. So you wouldn't have that. You wouldn't have that Dennis Quaid, Martin Short, Meg Ryan jam to rely on.
Yeah, but
We
I
can
would have
imagine.
Moby Dick.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
what is it? Jonah and the Whale or
Pinocchio.
Pinocchio.
Maybe some Magic School Bus. I don't know.
I feel like
no Magic School Bus.
No,
Magic School
that
Bus
was 90s? Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
My bad.
All right, well, let's have you make a clever roll. And the better you do, the more information I'll give you. You have to get at least one. Like, come on, I'm trying to help you out here. Do you have a aspect you'd like to use? Or?
Let me see.
Obviously, you're just trapped in its secondary squeedly spooch, and you don't. There's no. If you have an aspect,
because I'm a scientist, it would just be the good news, everyone. Like, good news, everyone. I know where we're at. I know what we're in. I'm a scientist.
This one, yeah, because that aspect is very much about your like general scientist knowledge.
Yeah.
Hear that? Okay. All right. Yeah. So this is some kind of like trash bladder. This is like a large organisms like this that just like funnel food into them will often have a secondary storage stomach for stuff they can't digest, and then when it gets full, it just ejects all that crap out into space. This one looks like it's starting to get pretty full. But yeah, it looks like you're in like a very wet, swampy garbage dump. So there's got to be like a large opening somewhere out of here that will eject all of this trash out into the ocean.
Oh, but do we want that? We just want to get ejected out into the ocean? I mean, maybe Rex does, but...
So as you're wondering, you're like, okay, so looking around with the flare, and Artemis, you see, we follow you, the pool of flickering light, eerily but authentically flickering light.
Yes.
And we see, some garbage. We see we see a bunch of like styrofoam, like Burger King containers, and like a bunch of other miscellaneous garbage. And then the camera pans over, floating face down, covered in blood, the tiny black feathered body of a penguin. And when the light falls on Maurice's body, that's when we cut to break.
No, Maurice!
So stick around, everybody. We will be back with lots more sphincters and trash bladders and whatever other disgusting
I didn't
inside
do
of
it,
a
Chad.
fish.
He did it. Adam did it.
I just work with what you give me.
Wasn't me.
Uh-uh.
All right, stick around. We got lots more RollPlay Nebula jazz coming at you after the break.